What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Gonna be talking more Eagles training camp. A lot of news over the past 2 days. Darius Cooper making so much noise, looking like he could fill in at the wide receiver 2 position right now. Offense has a big day yesterday and then absolutely plummeted today. Injuries that we absolutely need to talk about, and the Hurts to Smitty connection that's just been unstoppable all throughout camp. All that and more. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. We're shooting up to 1,000 subscribers, and I can't do it without all your guys' help. With all that being said, let's get right into the video. So right away, I want to dig right into Darius Cooper. Every day, it seems like there is a Darius Cooper one-handed catch or a flying through the air catch or a toe drag catch. Darius Cooper is having the second consecutive amazing camp of his career to start his career. And with us losing AJ Brown, there were a lot of people last year that were like, Darius Cooper is an AJ Brown clone, that he'll be able to slot right in for AJ when he's gone. And last year I bought into the hype a little bit because he did look really good. Even throughout the preseason games, he looked really, really good when he had a competent quarterback throwing him the football. But obviously then the season starts, you see AJ Brown, you see Smitty, you see the way things go, and you kind of forget about it and you let it go to the back seat, other than those few snaps throughout the year where he actually got a target or had a chance to go out and do something. Fast forward this year, training camp again, he's making all the same noise, making all the same catches, but this time doing it with the first team offense. He had a little bit last year, but it was mainly second and third team. He did have limited opportunities, but this year he's really getting a lot more reps with the first team guys and then also getting reps with the second team as well. Yeah, we brought in guys like Hollywood Brown. We brought in Elijah Moore, but Darius Cooper's under contract. He's an Eagles guy. He's a cheap option, and he looks like he's ready to slot in and take over for AJ right now, if we're being totally honest. I'm not saying he is AJ Brown or he will be AJ Brown, but everything we're hearing, that's exactly what it sounds like. And he's catching everything, making a ton of noise. And this wide receiver battle is wide open. I personally like Hollywood Brown, but with everything that's been going on, all the news that's been coming out, Hollywood Brown might not even make this roster. You've also got Elijah Moore making a lot of noise himself. Obviously not the amount that Darius Cooper is, not the amount that Wicks is, but he's holding his own through this camp. And if Elijah Moore outperforms Hollywood Brown, they both kind of do a lot of the same things. So you're only going to keep one of those guys realistically. So Hollywood had better get his shit together. Otherwise, he's not going to be an Eagle for very long. Talk a little bit about yesterday. The offense had a great day. Wide receivers were catching everything. Jalen looks absolutely locked in from all reports. Wicks, Darius Cooper, Smitty, all of the guys you expect to be making plays were making plays. Big plays to the tight ends. A deep shot to a running back with nobody within 10 yards of him that he, of course, dropped. Talking about Will Shipley, of course. With the addition of Dameon Pierce this offseason, Will Shipley has to be perfect because that spot that he's going to be taking this year is special teams and emergency running back. And Dameon Pierce has actually had a pretty good camp so far. Everything coming out about him has been mostly positive. And you have to wonder, if Will Shipley continues to make mistakes and just not shine in the run game at all, how much longer do you continue wasting time and allowing him to take up a roster spot, especially when he didn't show much in the special teams department last year? Talking a little more about today on the offensive side, they definitely stalled no Smitty today. Britton Covey was out there in the slot to start things off, if that gives you an idea of where they were at. Things just looked gross, stagnant. It looked like a second unit facing off against the first team. Jalen still able to make a couple plays to certain guys, but there really wasn't much there. An ugly day overall, but you can't put too much stock into that because, again, no right tackle. I think Tyler Steen was the only offensive lineman that was on the field today. So out of context, it looks like a really bad day. But if you dig a little deeper, it was Jalen and the second team out there. So you have to expect that it's not going to be a great day. Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith both marked out with hamstrings. It doesn't seem like it's really that big of a deal. The team is more being cautious than anything. I also think today being padded, they didn't want any of their guys who have little things going on getting hit and then straining it and making it worse. So we are expected to get Devontae Smith back and Mekhi Lemon back in the next couple days. So that's good to hear. Talking about the defense now, both days, you can kind of sum it all up into a few players that are kind of taking everything over right now. Obviously, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell having amazing camps so far. giving up almost nothing. They're both just playing at such an elite level. Andrew Mabuka having a great camp from what everyone's saying. He's in the right place. He isn't making a ton of splash plays, but from the safety position, that can be a little hard to do sometimes. But from everything we're hearing, Andrew Mabuka's having a great offseason, and that's exactly what we need at the safety position, just to give us that little bit more flexibility, comfortability, to where the only battle we're really dealing with is at the other safety position between Epps and Michael Carter. On the edge position, AJ Epinoza and Jalix Hunt are the two names that I just keep hearing the most. Those guys are having a great camp. Jalix Hunt has been unblockable by pretty much everybody. AJ's taking on more second and third team guys. So with him having starting experience, he was on the Bills D line and an active starter for a very long time. Someone who you can slot in right now and play. I'm not surprised to see him dominating against the second unit. And I've already said before that I would take him over Arnold, the guy we got that was with the Falcons last year. I just think you get a lot more upside with AJ, inside outside versatility. Then at the defensive tackle position, it's been Jalen Carter, number one, making an absolute ton of noise, breaking up plays left and right. The contract extension and the way he's playing right now, I think he's going to have an absolute dominant year. I think he is going to be unblockable, and I'm super excited for Jalen Carter and what he brings this year. But we can't talk about him without shouting out Jordan Davis and Moro Ojomo. Both guys are just looking unstoppable. They're having the type of offseason to where you really think these guys could be number ones in so many other places, and how lucky we are to not just have Jalen Carter, but Jordan Davis, probably the best nose tackle in the league. And then Moro Ojomo, who gives you insane flexibility on pass downs from the defensive tackle position, just gives you a lot of different things, and it's made him such a valuable piece that the Eagles are honestly looking to potentially extend him, because you can't let a piece like that leave, even with the other guys that you have already. And that's an exciting thing to think about moving forward, that next year could be the year where we take another premier pass rusher in the first round. Because we had to pay D tackle, we have to stay young on the edge, and you allow Jalix Hunt to kind of take over with another young guy to give you that flexibility to where you don't have to pay everybody all at once. So the injury report today looked like Keyshawn James, newbie, ankle; Lane Johnson, excused, not injury related; Makai Lemon, hamstring; Micah Morris, shoulder; Jadine Roberts, calf contusion; Devontae Smith, hamstring; Cole Wisniewski, hamstring. From what I'm seeing here from Jeff McLean, there is no long-term concern with Lemon or Smith, but there will be a rehab process. Lemon, of course, had a hamstring injury in the spring. It's unclear if this is the same one. So definitely concerning. Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens both got held out for a while today, or for all of the padded portion. So it kind of makes you think, are we just bubble wrapping guys, or is there a little bit of a bug going around and we're just trying to keep it quiet right now? Either way, we're going to keep looking at that. We're going to keep that updated moving forward, because that is a little concerning, especially with Lemon. This is the second injury, we'll say. Yes, they could be just being very careful with him. He might be able to play through all this, practice through all this, but we're not really being told a lot. So from the way it looks right now, it is absolutely concerning. Devontae, not so much, because we know how much he's dealt with over the years and how much he can play through. Let's hope the injury bug isn't hitting us too hard right now. Talk a little bit about Andy Dalton here at the QB2 position. Tanner McKee might be on his way out one way or the other. Andy Dalton has gotten the majority of QB2 reps. Tanner McKee has been sprinkled in here and there, but Andy Dalton's having a pretty solid camp. I know a lot of people aren't high on him. They're not excited for him, but at this stage in Hurts's career, a veteran backup that he can learn from, that he can just pick the brain of, someone who knows schemes, knows defenses, and can just help with all the little things along the way, is so invaluable, that him having a good camp just says that he understands this offense and this team, and it makes you more confident that he could fill in as a spot starter for a game, 2 games, if Jalen has to deal with anything throughout the season. So it's super exciting to see Andy Dalton just sliding right in. He looks comfortable. He looks poised. He's not perfect. He's not making all the big throws. It's not like he's not making mistakes. He's definitely had his share throughout camp, but he's looking a lot better than Tanner McKee right now. As for Tanner McKee, I'm imagining that he's on his way out. I can't imagine that someone's not willing to give up at least a 4th round pick for him. So I think by the end of camp, 2nd, 3rd preseason game, he's definitely on his way out. Last couple things here. Talk about Clint Hurtt a little bit. There's a lot of talk about him taking over this defense whenever Vic Fangio's done. Him and Ewa Bernard were on the field after practice today, getting in some extra work. And just some of the snippets from Clint Hurtt throughout training camp this year, last year. I mean, he's such a breath of fresh air on this D-line. holding guys accountable, no bullshit, no games, just a solid presence of a man who expects you to go out and give it your all. And it doesn't have to look perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect, but he expects you to go out and play with effort. And a man like that running a defensive unit like this is exactly what we need because it creates accountability within the room and it just makes all these guys so much better. If he does end up being our DC after Vic Fangio leaves, I think I'm really ready for it because the voice he would create on defense, just the presence of a human being that he is. I know he didn't have the greatest time the last time he was a DC, but I have high hopes for him and I'm really excited to see him work, especially with Bernard after practice, the way he's taken him under his wing. Bernard, through everything we're talking about, as raw as he is right now, as little football as he knows, I still think Clint Hurd could put him out there in a limited number of snaps and he can make a difference this year. As crazy as that is to say, I just think there's something about the D tackle position. If he's not a 3-down guy, if he's just a pass rush specialist, I think he can make it work. In a pinch, when you've got guys hurt and you need someone out there, I think over Ty Robinson, Byron Young, we might as well just give that spot to him at this point because I don't want to lose him to another team. I think he's going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the league. His size, his athleticism, just how happy he is all the time to just be doing what he's doing out there, playing football and just having fun with it. It's going to unlock something within him and he's going to be so good at some point in his career. And I just don't think it's actually going to be 4 or 5 years. I think in the first 2-3 years, he's absolutely going to become a disruptive presence and he's going to bring something to this team sooner rather than later. And then I covered it a little bit, but I want to make sure everybody understands that like the Hurts to Smith connection this year is real. These two are going to make so much noise. Like throughout camp, when both of them are on the field, we're hearing a lot about Wicks and we're hearing about these other young guys and the new guys that we brought in at the wide receiver room. But what you're not hearing is how much Hurts and Smith are connecting every day that they're playing together. Every day they're on the field together. They're absolutely making noise. And no matter how good the defense has been, Hurts and Smith have found a way to have those connections throughout the day. And that just tells you all you need to know. Smith is going to get extended at some point, and I think he's going to have a huge year this year. I think he's going to end up breaking all of AJ's records that he set for yardage, touchdowns, receptions. I think Smith is going to take it to another level this year, and I can't wait to see the connection between Hurts and Smith and when it really locks in and they really get on the same page. It's going to be unstoppable. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for me. Sorry to fill in 2 days worth of shit all in one show. Things got a little busy, a little crazy last night, so I didn't end up getting my video out. Was going to put it out today, but then there was so much news today. I was like, let's just get it all out at once. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking through to the end. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our content moving forward. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.